Trump versus Biden, the battle of the southern border. I break everything down for you here at Hide and Seek Media. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video and welcome to Hide and Seek Media. Today we're talking about Trump's border policies versus Biden's border policies and how they affect the country. If you're new to the channel, I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers so I can change the name of the channel to Hide and Seek Media. So make sure to click on that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified anytime I drop a new video. Smash that like button and leave a comment down below. Let me know how I'm doing and who you think had the better policies. Now, let's get into it. So, if you ain't been paying attention, there's a huge border crisis right down at the southern border of Texas. We have immigrants just pouring into this country, seeking asylum because Biden has pretty much opened the doors. He says he hasn't, and they keep saying that the borders are closed and the borders are closed, but okay, we'll get into some numbers here in a little bit, so make sure to stay tuned for that. But yeah, the borders are not closed. All right. First of all, how can you say the border is closed when you stop construction on the border wall and you've got gaping holes in the middle of this border wall? And then you have sections of the southern border where you have one border patrol agent responsible for 3 miles of border. Yeah, you can't successfully patrol 3 miles of border by yourself and catch everybody. That's impossible. So you pretty much opened the border the minute you did away with most of Trump's policies and, when it came to immigration. So that's exactly what you're doing, right? And all of that money that was being used to construct the border wall, to fill those holes that you could have used to fill those gaps that was stopping a lot of people from coming across the border, then instead of using the money to build the wall, you took that money away and you opened detention camps with big giant glass rooms and people with mylar blankets scattered all about the floor. Yeah, you're trying your best. You're trying your best to handle the situation because the last administration gave you a broken and dismantled immigration system. Yeah, we'll get into that here in a little bit. The story is, there's a story in Axios, right, about $86 million of taxpayer money, right, that is being used, that has been approved by the Biden administration, is being used by ICE to house illegal immigrant families crossing the border, right? They were detained by Border Patrol, and now they're being housed in hotels for up to 6 months while they wait for the courts to hear their case. $86 million of taxpayer money, right, is going towards housing these people here in the United States, right, for up to 6 months. Probably a lot of these families that are probably legitimately running away from bad gangs and cartels and whatever in their countries. And that is sad. It is. It's terrible. But you know what? That's happening all over the world. Just because they're connected to the United States doesn't mean they should get to come over here that easily. No, because there are people that are fleeing those kinds of things from all kinds of countries in Africa and the Middle East, and they're trying to flee to the United States. But you know what? They do it, most of them do it in a legitimate way. Come over, go through the visa process, try to, and then become a natural citizen. I mean, the former First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, did this very thing to become a United States citizen. In the CNN article I read, there was a clip where they said it costs like $26.5 million per mile, right, to build Trump's wall that he wanted, the border wall, right? $26.5 million per mile. All right, so that's $86 million we just spent on housing for all these illegal immigrants coming across the border and seeking asylum, right? So 86 million, 26.5 million. You can do math, right? That's 3 miles of border wall we could have put up. Now, I know there are sections smaller than that that needed to be finished. So imagine how many of those smaller sections we could have finished. We take 1 mile off of that and finish all them smaller sections. Now we've had, 500 plus miles of completed wall, and you still have enough money to build 2 more miles of wall. And that cuts down on the amount of border that the Border Patrol agents have to patrol, all right? And so now you have miles of wall with sections open. And now, if these sections were closed, the Border Patrol agents wouldn't have to patrol these sections of the wall or this portions of the wall as much because they'd be solid and hard to get over. But now that there's holes in them, they have to patrol all of that to patrol just those sections that the Biden administration left open. And why? Because he wanted to spend $86 million on hotels so that they were comfortable and were well taken care of from seeking asylum. Okay? When most of them are just coming here because Biden said he'd take them in.
My question to you is, if an individual is living in the United States of America without documents and that is his only offense, should that person be deported?
No. Depending if they committed a major crime, they should be deported. And the president was left in his... President Obama, I think, did a heck of a job. To compare him to what this guy's doing is absolutely, I find, close to immoral. But the fact is that, look, we should not be locking people up. We should be making sure we change the circumstance, as we did, why they would leave in the first place. And those who come seeking asylum, we should immediately have the capacity to absorb them, keep them safe until they can be heard.
A 15-second, if you could, if you wish to answer. Should someone who is here without documents, and that is his only offense, should that person be deported?
That person should not be the focus of deportation.
Instead of Trump leaving them on the other side of the border while they process. There's even video, an interview done where a guy says, here you go.
Father, who asked that we not show his face, traveled to Mexico from Brazil with his wife and 3 young kids before crossing the border. Would you have tried to do this when Donald Trump was president?
Definitely not. Definitely. We had the chance, the same violence that is going on today was there last year. We used to watch the news, and I definitely won't do this.
So did you come here because Joe Biden was elected president?
Basically.
He would not come over. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, he wouldn't have tried this last year. Nope. That's crazy. Why would I try to come over here under Trump's administration? They're just going to throw my ass back. But Biden, hey, I'll come over. They'll let me stay. They'll take me over the border and let me stay in the U.S. The Biden administration's got 4,500, I think it was like 4,500 kids at Border Patrol facilities and like another 9,500 at HHS. So what's that, 13,000, 14,000? 15,000? 14,000, right? So that's 14,000 kids right there. And that Trump used funds to build a wall, employ more Border Patrol agents, and send people home. Biden decides to stop building the wall and leave big gaping holes and allow all these people to come over. I mean, hell, I even saw somewhere where he's flying people from here to Canada. Flying them from here to Canada so they can be processed. Are you kidding me? That is, oh my God, right? That is just, I don't know what else to do. I mean, I don't know what else to say. What else do you say to that? What? You're taking these people and you're flying them from Mexico to Canada so you can process them for asylum, which could take up to 6 months, according to you. That's why you booked these hotels for 6 months, right? Costing us $86 million. Oh man, this is something else. I tell you what, and at the pace they're going, according to Business Insider, at the pace that these people are coming across the border, we're looking at 2 million immigrants at the U.S.-Mexican border by the end of this fiscal year, if this pace keeps up. 2 million. That is a lot of people, considering this country only allows in, a little over 1 million immigrants legally a year? You're going to have 2 million just at the southern border alone. That's a lot. Alright, that is a lot. So, see, Trump had a migrant border crisis in 2019. In the fiscal year 2019, they had like 457,000 plus, migrants arriving as family units that were apprehended by Border Patrol, right, in 2019. And so that surge really happened, a lot of that happened, like 132,000 of that happened in just February of 2019. And what Trump did was, that's when he implemented the Remain in Mexico policy, where you could come to the border and seek asylum, but you had to stay in Mexico until your case was heard and your asylum was either granted or you were told to go home. So that policy Biden did away with, and now these people are coming over the border instead of staying in Mexico, right? So when Biden said he was going to do away with that policy, well, all these people were like, what? I can go to the United States, apply for asylum, and live in the United States? Psh, son, I'm packing my bags and we're walking on over, seek asylum, and stay in these hotels that the American taxpayers are paying for, all while you get to get your case heard and let the courts decide on whether you get to seek your asylum here in the United States and become a United States citizen. That's ridiculous. Now it's costing us money. Where's that money coming from? So are you just going to print more money? Huh? We're just going to print more money, Joe, so we can pay for all this stuff? That's something I'd like to know. That's insane. We have giant sections of the border wall that are just left open because Pinocchio Joe decided, we're not doing that no more. We're going to take the money away from the border wall and we're going to put it towards all these migrant facilities we're going to open up. But we're not going to let the media down in there because we don't want them to see all these kids laying all across the floor, laying in these crappy ass Mylar blankets, and, packing 400 kids in a facility that can only house 260, and that's without COVID restrictions. Okay, so imagine that. You got these people that are just jam-packed in these places. But, under Trump, it was kids in cages. Now, it's where they're all seeking asylum, and we're just doing the best we can with our broken, dismantled system that was kicking back 91% of people who crossed the border illegally. Yeah, broken and dismantled. Sounds like it was doing its damn job to me, right? Border Patrol, right? Immigration enforcement. Okay, that sounds pretty cut and dry. If you cross the border illegally, we send you home. Okay, you try it the right way. You want to come to the United States? Apply for a visa. Come over here, work, establish yourself, then become a citizen. It's not that complicated. It just takes a little while. And for all you liberal type people out there who happen to catch this video, not many, I would gather, but if you have a better idea or a better way to do immigration, by all means, we're all ears. But this ain't it. Just opening the border and letting all these people across ain't it. Alright? So, and I think the media is covering this because it's just a giant distraction from what's going on what's going to be happening in the Senate when all these crazy laws that they're going to be voting on. If they kill the filibuster, God help us, because there's huge anti-Second Amendment gun laws going in that they're trying to pass, and you have these crazy voting laws. Basically they want to introduce segregation back into this country, and a whole lot of other crazy things. So I'm not saying don't pay attention to the border crisis, because it is a crisis and we need to pay attention. But don't be distracted, people, because that is where the real stories are, okay? That's what we need to be paying attention to right now, is what is being brought up to vote in the House and in the Senate. Because that is what goes into law. Not Pinocchio Joe's stupid freaking 50-plus executive orders, right? His dictatorship by pen. And, man, if you are any kind of open-minded person with any shred of common sense and sensible logic about you, okay, then you can see Trump was doing his job at the southern border, okay? He was keeping illegals out. He was stopping child trafficking at the border, okay? Because now 13,000 undocumented illegal immigrant children, okay? 13,000? 14,000 according to some articles? 19,000 according to some articles? All of these kids. No parents. No family. How many of them are going to disappear into the sex trafficking world? How many of them that have been sent up here by their family have disappeared, who didn't make it to the border, right? How many of them kids didn't even make it to the border? Or made it through the border another way, through one of them holes that Pinocchio Joe left in the wall because he decided to stop funding the construction of the wall and put all that money towards building migrant tent cities. And now that you don't have Orange Man Bad to blame for everything, right? The media is starting to turn on Pinocchio Joe a little bit. And it's kind of hard to tell if it is, just a distraction, or if they have buyer's remorse, maybe. All of these, mainstream media news outlets, maybe they're just after the dollar. And now they need a new villain. And they know Pinocchio Joe is going to be out sooner or later, and Kamala Harris will become president. They'll tout her like they did Obama. So they feel they can attack Joe because he's not going to be president for long. So it'll be looked at like they were just trying to course correct after having 4 years of Orange Man Bad, Orange Man Bad, Orange Man Bad, and blaming Trump for everything, like they're trying to do now. I mean, they're still trying to blame Trump, saying that his immigration system was broken and dismantled when it was kicking back 91%. In the end, Trump's policies, whether they hurt your feelings or not, they were good for America. All right? You got all these illegals pouring into the country, and now you're going to give them work visas and go get jobs, all while you have millions of Americans out on unemployment, which you're now funding an extra $300 a week for the next, 6 months till September. So you're giving Americans incentive to stay unemployed. And you got all these immigrants coming in. They're going to take all those jobs as they open up, as these states open up. But all these people are going to stay on unemployment until September. And then when they come off unemployment, well, Joe won't be president anymore. It'll be Kamala Harris's problem. And she will have a huge problem to deal with, because you're going to have a lot of people looking for jobs, and there ain't going to be many out there. You killed the oil and gas industry. That was thousands of jobs in this country. Thousands of good paying jobs that you just killed for no reason because you wanted to freaking placate to somebody. So, in the end, everybody who has any shred of common sense can see Trump's policies at the border were way better than Biden's. And if this continues, we are going to see an influx of illegal immigration into this country like we have never seen before. Okay? We're talking millions of illegal immigrants crossing the border in 1 year. Millions. Pay attention, people. I can't say that enough. I try to say that every time I make a video. Pay attention. Alright? Because if we allow this to continue and we don't speak up, this country's going to go to hell in a handbasket in a hurry. Alright? So, keep paying attention. And if you want to pay attention here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you get notified the next time I put down a video. Smash that like button if you like this video. Leave me a comment. Tell me how I can improve this video. And I will catch y'all later. Peace.